So we finally got that earnings report from Cracker Barrel after they were supposed to drop their fourth quarter fiscal earnings for the year. And well, guess what? It ended up being worse than projected. Cracker Barrel stock falls as company report mixed earnings after the rebrand controversy. Big shock on that one, hey? But Cracker Barrel said Wednesday, that this was the last Wednesday, that the restaurant chain is focused on enhancing its experience from guests after it faced intense backlash over an attempted rebrand earlier this summer. Company reported mixed fiscal fourth quarter earnings Wednesday afternoon, and CEO Julie Felss Masino said that the company is optimistic about its future as it heads into the next year. Interesting, the stock sank roughly 10% in after-hours trading. Masino said Cracker Barrel was grateful for customers voicing their passion for Cracker Barrel in recent weeks, and that the company is now switching its focus. Yeah, interesting, right? Because we got a couple of reports, okay? Because all of a sudden, Cracker Barrel CEO Julie Felss Masino admits she misunderstood core customers. But no, she was out there touting on like Good Morning America that, oh yeah, all of the reception of this new rebrand that we've got, oh my God, it's been overwhelmingly positive. So, what happened? Yes, on Wednesday, September the 17th, Cracker Barrel released its fourth quarter earnings, reporting a 2.9% revenue decline compared to the same quarter last year and an 8% drop in guest traffic since the attempted rollout of its new streamlined logo in August. The redesign removed the iconic Uncle Herschel figure, sparking immediate backlash. 5 days later, the company reversed course, announcing that the rebrand would not move forward and that $700 million attempt would just go up in smoke. Great job there. Yes, Julie acknowledged her misstep, admitting that she had underestimated how deeply fans valued the traditional imagery. We want longtime fans, well, it's longtime customers. Fans? That's kind of weird. And new guests to experience the full story of the people, places, and food we make at Cracker Barrel so special. That's why we will go ahead and reheat it the moment that you sit down. Don't worry, we've got your back, guys. That's why our team pivoted quickly to switch back to our old-timer logo. Oh, right, that's where our team pivoted quickly. Right, and had already begun executing new marketing, advertising, and social media initiatives leaning into Uncle Herschel and the nostalgia around the brand. Yeah, see? We very quickly know what people want. We were able to pivot to that, but you don't really want to highlight as to why you thought rebranding would have been such a great idea. She added, we thank our guests for sharing their voices and love for the brand and telling us when we misstepped. But yes, despite the reversal, Cracker Barrel stock slid 9% in after-hours trading following the report. As has been highlighted time and time again, she tried to do to Cracker Barrel what she did, I won't say successfully, but she sterilized the Taco Bell brand. Before joining Cracker Barrel, she served as president of Taco Bell North America from 18 to 19, and later Taco Bell International from 2020 to 2023. During her tenure, several fan favorite items, including the quesarado, cheesy fiesta potatoes, and spicy potato soft taco, and most famously the Mexican pizza, were removed from the menu, drawing customer outrage. Now, I don't think I've ever eaten at a Taco Bell, mostly because they've never been in my area. For the longest time in my neck of the woods, we had Taco Time. I think that there's one in town now, but yeah, I haven't been there. Don't do the fast food. Oh, with a background at Starbucks, a brand with a distinctly different audience, Masino's track record suggests repeated difficulty in aligning with customer bases of heritage-driven brands like Taco Bell and now Cracker Barrel. Dissatisfaction with Masino's leadership has fueled public calls for her resignation. Sadhar Biglari, yes, we went over his report last week or the week before, but yes, head of Steak Shack and major Cracker Barrel investor has been vocally demanding her removal. So vocal, in fact, that, there was this billboard that popped up. Fire the CEO billboard appears in Nashville resembling canceled Cracker Barrel logo, and that's interesting because Steak and Shake takes credit for the Fire the CEO Cracker Barrel billboard. Interesting. Because Sadhar Biglari also owns, not an enormous, not like a majority stake by any means, but a fairly significant amount of Cracker Barrel stock, and he would like to see the revival of Cracker Barrel a la Steak and Shake, and publicly getting rid of the CEO. Well, that would be step one. Fire the CEO is the battle cry from Steak Shake against Cracker Barrel CEO Julie Felss Masino, so much so that they displayed it prominently on a Nashville billboard in a logo style mocking the attempted Cracker Barrel logo rebrand. Steak and Shake took full responsibility for the billboard on X. Yes, we are responsible for this billboard. Cracker Barrel's board has failed its shareholders. It has spent over a decade fighting with one of its largest shareholders rather than collaborating for the good of the company. Cracker Barrel has been at the forefront of the DEI movement and Well, I mean, we might as well go to the statement here itself. And at the same time, it has reduced food quality and burned millions on failed acquisitions. The board apparently has more regard for DEI than ROI. Now we are running a proxy contest at our own expense to fire the CEO. Big Larry is doing the work left undone by the board. Fire the CEO, save Cracker Barrel. 1,000%. Yes, the feud between Steak and Shake and Cracker Barrel first gained notice in August of 2025. Steak and Shake's first, somewhat innocuous statement on August 20th was, "This is what happens when you have a board that does not respect their historical customers or their brand." They followed it up on the 21st by putting out, "Sometimes people want to change things just to put their own personality on it." At Cracker Barrel, their goal is to just delete the personality altogether. Hence the elimination of the old timer from the signage. Heritage is what got Cracker Barrel this far. And now the CEO wants to, well, we know exactly what she wants to do, make it just a big open box with yellow lettering and generic slop on the menu. Good for her. Worked out well for you. In the post, which amassed 11.4 million views, Steak and Shake threw down the gauntlet, and well, Cracker Barrel would take a little while to pick it up, but would at least acknowledge it, a part of the massive pushback. Backlash to Cracker Barrel's new logo and store redesign was swift and overwhelming. And it's funny, right? After saying, "Oh, we have such great feedback," they posted on the 26th, 5 days after their big redesign, "We would listen, and we have our new logo is going away and our old timer will remain." And yeah, the numbers have been staggering. Shares down 12%, $94 million lost in a market cap value. The $700 million rebranding campaign absolutely eviscerated by Sardar Biglari of Biglari Holdings, and owner of Steak and Shake. Well, now he's throwing all of his effort, all of his time behind getting Julie Felss Masino out of that spot. And I don't know if he wants it. Maybe he does. Who knows? But at least putting somebody confident, somebody who isn't a terminal liar, into that position to hopefully fulfill the new vision for Cracker Barrel. And that is being a place that people actually want to go to, a place that is aligned with its history and its values and isn't run by some blonde-haired, horn-rimmed, glasses-having Karen. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.